And in that case, why the apple? He was annoyed, I could see. He had had a theory of some sort which had satisfied him, and then along came something, which, as he said, didn't fit. One night she runs out of the house and hunts sanctuary at the Talbots, he went on, and the next she sits on the back porch at 1 in the morning with that damned apple and then goes and takes a walk. Lou, we've got to find out why she took that walk. I thought for a moment. Of course, I said, she might have gone for the bird cage. The what? Well, Margaret had told her that the bird was dead, and about giving the cage to George Talbot to put in their stable. And she would know that he doesn't lock the stable at night. He's been hoping for years that someone would steal his car. He put his hands to his ears with a wild gesture. I look at you, Lou, he said, and you are uttering words in a very nice voice. But they don't mean anything. What is this about a bird cage? Do you mean that Miss Emily Lancaster would go after it at 1 o'clock in the morning? Why would she do such a thing? She was terribly fond of the bird. But of course she knew by that time that it was dead. You see, I really killed it. I put it in a back room and nobody gave it any water. I really can't bear it, Mr. Dean. If she was after that cage when she was killed, I'll carry a scar all my life. Upon which, to my intense surprise, I found myself crying. I had been calm enough comparatively until then, and I think I scared Herbert Dean as much as I astonished him. Stop it, Lou, he said sharply. You've been a grand girl up to now, and this is no time to heat up and boil over. Stop it, do you hear? Of course you didn't kill the fool bird, or Emily Lancaster either. Here's a handkerchief. And this is a nice sentimental time, when you are softened with grief, to tell you that I'm often called Bert, or even Bertie. Silly name, but these things are like warts. You don't know what brings them on. You only know you've got them. Which I dare say served its purpose of making me laugh, for it did. He harked back to the bird cage almost at once, however, and so I told him the story. He listened until I had finished. Curious, he said at last. If Margaret told her about it, she knew the bird was dead. Of course that might account for the spade too, that she meant to bury it. Still, to start out for a thing like that after her scare of the night before simply doesn't make sense, unless the whole business was an excuse, a sort of camouflage. But that would mean. He rose rather suddenly and held out both hands to me. Up with you, my Lady Lou. Poetry, did you notice? You are going into the house and to bed. I have an idea, although I can't see you, that you look ghastly. And young ladies shouldn't look ghastly, Lou. It isn't becoming. I'm afraid I haven't cared much how I look. Not for years and years. He stood silent in the darkness, still holding my hands. No, he said. I suppose not. Why should you? The whole effect of this crescent has been to defeat youth. That's a rather terrible thing, Lou. And you submit. The difference between you and Helen lies right there, you know. You submit. She revolts. She has more courage. Perhaps I want peace more than Helen does, I said. Peace? It is only age that craves peace, Lou my dear. It has lived and so it is willing to rest.